you covered.
You're listening to the sound. Sound good together, huh?
Montana.
Oh man, we definitely sound good together. And today, as you can see on the other side of town, I'm finally joined by the one and only. She's been on my Facebook for the longest time, go live, but ke was abandonisha, and of which I hope was why she hasn't been on our Facebook Live. Because it's live. She's late, I did mention Bangabage. She is a hard-working lady. She's always busy on the road, hence late. But we have to keep the conversation definitely flowing and going. How are you doing, Lindo?
I'm good, Pure. No, I'm still trying to catch my breath, man. And yeah, man, I'm just happy I finally got to be with you in the studio.
Live.
Yeah, I was supposed to come as a visitor, but yeah, I guess I had to come as this visitor behind the mic.
Jonga, I was just like, please postpone. It's okay. But please, man, tell us more about yourself.
Okay, Lindo MSELE, as Aki already mentioned. I am from King Williamstown, hometown girls in the studio. Went to the same school.
Yes, about
yes. Went to the same school. Yongijam then the Eastern Cape, even varsity. I was in the Eastern Cape, so I'm an Eastern Cape girl. And I do a lot of work around community development, specifically in the HIV prevention field and the gender space. Obviously inspired by the fact that growing up in the Eastern Cape and having experienced a few of the challenges that a lot of people are currently facing, I sort of found my niche, and I became passionate about esa space. But okay, if I manage to get out of the space, what can I do to help others get, out of it? So yeah, my passion is people, it's women and girls, gender, social activism, HIV prevention.
Yay, ininzi into ayenzayo.
Hey.
Yeah, Papa, in fact, wings, it's busy. Now, there's the LGBTQIA+.
Oh,
What does it stand for?
It is a long acronym that basically consists of all the different members of the queer society. Right?
Okay.
L obviously being the lesbian,
Okay.
which is women who date women. G is gay, men who date men. LGB. Okay, B is bisexual. Who have feelings or are attracted to either men, either women. LGBT. T is transgender. I think we have the understanding of transgender. Intersex is the I. Intersex again is basically people who have traits or features of both men and women. So
okay.
You find that as a woman, you've got estrogen that is dominating in Zimbabwe, whereas if you're a man, you've got testosterone. So an intersex person is someone who sort of has dominant features of zona zonke. So a lot of people normally confuse this and say unazo zoyi-two. When people describe intersex people, but unazo zoyi-two. Unazo zoyi-two indoni. Why do we reduce everything to genitals? It's not about genitals. It's just about the whole biological makeup of umuntu. Q. Yes, Q is queer. In some cases, queer is basically it's an umbrella term for LGBTQI. Yeah, it's the umbrella term, and some people use it for questioning, because there's people who are, still trying to figure myself out and understand, and it's okay. It's okay. Then the people who have little to no sexual desire, to get into sexual relationships. And then pansexual is people who fall in love with who are attracted to people regardless of their gender identity.
No, this
is broad. Uli Nobuhle will be interested in dating whether Apiwe identifies as a woman or Apiwe doesn't identify as a woman. I'm not picky about ukuba ndizawujola nomntu uba is defined as doni identity yakhe okanye who they prefer to have sexual relationships with.
Okay.
Iyavakala. Ndiyazama uyicacisa mixing nesixhosa. But that is pansexual.
Pansexual, because I think one of the questions that I've been asking myself is, what does the AP plus stand for? Because it means it's actually broad, that there's a lot going on, but today,
yeah, it's a lot, and the P is a way of not limiting the queer community, because we discover izinto and we discover ourselves every day. So
that's true.
Developments are always coming up. So if usiyayibamba sithi P and that's it, it's final, then you're sort of closing the gap for abanye abantu to actually come and open up and embrace who they are.
Yeah. Now, celebrating Pride Month, it's not only just Youth Month, but we're also celebrating Pride Month this June. We want to create a safe place for the LGBTQI plus community so that nabo bazive bekhuselekile within the community. How can this be done?
Okay, firstly, with safe spaces, I think it goes beyond just the physical space, right? Okanye community in its physical sense. It's very important that we tap into the issue of information, guys. There's nothing as important as knowledge and information, because we tend to look at issues of the LGBTQIA+ community from a one-dimensional view, and that shouldn't be the case. Because if LINDO and I'm saying I'm addressing issues on behalf of the LGBTQIA+ community, I need to be very mindful and conscious of the fact that in reality zam na emonti azizofana nezonto ohlala deep bizana or lusisik. So what is important is that we need to educate not only abantu aphiwe who are not part of the community, but even us as the community.
As the community, yes.
Because it's safety, you know, the attacks that we find, abantu not being able to express themselves in their communities. Nati, we do play a role in making that norm. And I'm saying that because we box people a lot, so we have ways of doing things. You know how we as women are always fighting about men and patriarchy and how they want things to be done the way men have always done things. But that's also the reality with the LGBTI community, because you find that if also define it as something, abantu expect you to live a certain way that is defined by society, and that shouldn't be the case. We are humans at so to try and impart knowledge in the community itself and in society as a whole. And in rural spaces.
That's true. That's true.
It's normal to go yika because you know how staunch people in the rural communities are in terms of their beliefs. But in the Malegileyo is that we need to go out there, we need to go into communities, we need to have these conversations. And when you have conversations that are trying to change mindsets, you don't speak down on people. We need to go and actually have dialogue, conversations and allow them to speak openly, because sometimes we tend to want to censor people around these issues. So I'm just out here, for example, athi ndisistabane, ndizawucausa, you know, a riot and all of that, when in actual fact, if I'm in a space where I'm supposed to be
Mike, because yes, if you or even bring it closer to you actually, Mike, standing, so yes.
So if I'm in a space where I'm supposed to be educating, then I need to sort of put feelings aside every now and then and ensure that I get information that is accurate to abantu and hopefully get their mindsets to change. Yeah. So creating safe spaces, before people can take action, you need to change something here. You need to change something in their minds, and you need to change something in their behavior and how they perceive it.
Have dialogues. The point of your dialogues is daytime. Like this is now, especially within the deep rural areas, because I think sometimes there's more. Now, as an individual, when I started LINDO, have you ever been subjected to umdu saying that, in fact, a person being homophobic to you?
Okay, not anymore. I don't know, maybe
yes.
But I mean, it happens because at first, when it comes to sexuality, you don't just decide, hey, I'm waking up and tada, like I'm letting the world know. There's a lot of, firstly, you need to first understand what you're going through and understand yourself before so the moment when you actually start being open about your sexuality, I think a lot of people can attest to this, you do face a lot of resistance. Guys, sikhulela emakhaya amnyama, sikhulela in communities ezimnyama, sikhula in Christian backgrounds,
Yes.
even if all esifunda kuzo they have Christian beliefs. So obviously resistance yomuzayifumana, and but I think the worst way was kwezindawo zokonwaba zalapha eMonti. I even stopped going to one of them because it was clear that lesbian women are a target. So anyone can beat a lesbian woman, whatever, and the bouncers will end up taking it. And I can't sit aside and watch, things happening. Obviously, and I want to fight it, but I chose sometimes for my peace and to protect myself. There's these spaces. Obviously, there's spaces where I can address this, like if we talk citizens or whatever. But when it comes to the way I think it happens, I just step aside.
Step aside. Oh, Pops. Oh, Popsy. Ndisafuna uva ke basisukela usiphokazi uthi ke na Popsy.
Oh man, Spotty.
Kwenzeka ntoni ke Pops? Uvela phi Pops?
Popsy, usuka usiphokazi lo. Usiphokazi, you know how we are. Sigama lo muntu abangindo kuhla bengulindwa, bengundvo, bengundvu, bengu. So for her it was Pops, and then from Pops to Popsicles, and then from Popsicles to Dorpopi. So I think she can explain the motivation behind no matter.
Spoky, siyafuna ukuva bangaba ke kwenzeka ntoni, but I see we also joined man by abantu abaninzi, but I'm definitely going to talk about basihle nabani na xa sesiqoshelisa coming out. Lindo, I did some research personally, just trying to find out into ezininzi. You know, when people say you're coming out, bantu abaninzi, especially with the youth, you'll find that bangaba ke boy yukuthetha, be it to their friends, be it to their family, and as a community at large. Ubona bangaba ke umuntu uyafuna uthetha bangaba ke I'm a lesbian or I am a gay, but andiyazi bangaba ndizayithetha njani nale yonke into. Now, how can we help these individuals with coming out? Sifuna bangoyiki, sifuna bakwazi ukuthetha. What can they do?
Okay, firstly, coming out is like I always say, like I already mentioned, earlier, it's I know one way.
Okay.
Number one, coming out means coming out to yourself.
To yes. Oh.
And in order for you to be able to come out to yourself, you need to understand a few aspects around gender identity and sexuality, because also nendo around this is dibansi gender and sexuality. When that's not the case, guys, it's complex into dibansi gender and sexuality. Like it needs a whole hour to sort of break it down, But you first need to understand that and understand where you what you identify with and where you consider yourself to stand according to the options that are offered with whatever it is that you feel like you identify with. So
Okay.
and then when it comes to coming out to the society, I always say there's no need. If you live in your truth, I think you've already come out and you've done enough.
Yes.
Because I say this, if ubendi data umfana, and this will figure most in the busy family meeting and then sit my family down around the table and say, yo, I am heterosexual, I date men. We are more, by expecting most obviously. But at the end of the day, we need to understand the realities about the boy. So with coming out, it's you don't have to come out, number one, for abantu who feel that they are, uncomfortable with the whole issue of coming out. But also if you do really feel the need, because you need support structures or whatever. So if you do come out, firstly understand yourself, and then in understanding yourself, you need to understand that people's find that is a process.
Oh yes.
So coming out doesn't mean you're going to stick to one way of doing things. I always make an example of myself. Like I'm a non-conforming person. So for me, coming out is a daily thing or kind of a weekly thing, because once I could decide to wear a short dress and a weave, and that's it. Dimlo for the day, and then I'll decide to rock a suit. That is who I am. And it's constantly always now trying to reaffirm myself and let myself know that it's okay. So coming out is a process. It's an everyday thing.
It's an everyday thing.
Everyday thing to yourself. Everyday thing. It's society on it. If I can be comfortable, it's fine.
Yeah, kuyasiwa yanga. Siqhubekeke nobomi bethu. Uyayiva. Uthi ke na usibabalwe umiyo banga beketolakazi isituko sithini ndiyathanda mhlawumbe siyazalana, mhlawumbi. Hi, Mom John. Hi. Support structure, man. Ndiyathanda ukwazi bangaba ke umuntu support wangubani na, who's always behind you with be it it's the good, be it it's the bad, but could be one, could be more actually of abantu who are always there for you. Nangoku xa caba mhlambi une nervous breakdown, you know exactly who to dial. Kubani?
Mina ezolini.
EzoLindo.
For me, my support structure. Firstly, I think I've got a very good way of dealing with emotions and all of that. Not that I say I'd never get overwhelmed, but I'm a praying person.
Oh
For
yes.
starters. I pray. I've got a phone, I've got a laptop, I've got notebooks. If I feel like writing something, before ndiye ebantwini. But when I do go to abantu, I've got a sister, very supportive sister. I've got his sisters are amazing guys. Like I've got sisters on you know, and my brothers, they're a support structure. And I've also got a very supportive partner, who is like, who has become the first point of contact anytime something is happening. Like, just like in a motor, what should I do? You know. So yeah, it's the people around me, my partner and my family.
And your family. Oh man, and
And my friend Khamis.
angaqombi nabanye ke bangaqombi bathi khange usichaze ke thini naye.
Khamis bayandithandazela bona, so I have to mention.
No, ndiyabathanda ke abantu abathandazelayo. Uthi ke usixolisiwe bangabe ke coming out is a process indeed. Jonga, stru nasi. Lindo sifuna maneza social media handles. Like usixelele, be it Facebook, be it everything. Where can one actually find you?
Okay, you can find me on Facebook. So at Facebook, I am LINDO MSELE. On the screen. On Twitter, I think I'm Popsicles.
Oh wow, yes, just like IG, we tried to find you.
And then you can get wrong. I'm Popsicles_ZA. On Instagram, I'm also Popsicles_ZA. On TikTok, I am Undo, UNDOH _.
Yeah, before ke sinaye ke uolo uOtto Dells bekhona uluzuko uyaka usive ntoni, that's my cousin and every day she's here.
Otto Dells is my brother.
Oh hello brother.
Family.
We have uSisinombasa uMgoto khona, we've got literacy influencer Davani,
man,
great soul.
people.
Oh bethu we've got uAyo Benj ezile naye. We've got Ntombam also here. We've got uSiphokazi, uJack Davey, obethu nawo sisihlumi uMazulu naye ukhona. Also we have uJack Nandambona nabanye ke baninzi bakhona. I'm just quickly trying to, Princess C is also here. Sisinombasa ukhona ke naye. Sisimazulu kolibena ndiyamthanda bethuna uhlumi obethuna wamaxesibe. Akamhle yintoni nalaqhiya bethuna ndimthanda. Now it's almost time for the next team to come through, but I could have this conversation for the longest time, you know. And in Tanda is that you're an open person. I think that's one thing I am actually loving about you. I can't do it be more than having to do an interview. And the question sometimes like energy in studio. Now, in the next 5 years, what can we expect from LINDO?
In the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, I think you can expect greater things in terms of my advocacy for gender equality. You can expect more visibility on my side in terms of the HIV prevention space, because even I want to go back to school for my master's, and it's going to be aligned with that. You can expect a lot of growth in me as a person. I think I've been spending the past year trying to grow as a person, and I've noticed in all other spheres of my life, because I have focus on there's things I couldn't do before, because I wasn't always shut down focus. I wanted to be everywhere, doing everything, you know. But now I think the good right path in my career growth, a lot of work around my activism and my advocacy. I want to start doing quite a lot of writing, especially with topics related to gender and HIV. So yeah, I think we can expect to know LINDO. That has been my thought since last year, that you know what, I need to produce things that are going to be not just mind-blowing, but also be educational to abantu, so that people are empowered and again, like I don't believe in the empowerment eyenye ngaphandle kwe-knowledge eqala. So yes, I'm all about imparting knowledge for the next 5 years and growing, hopefully in
soze ngabikho kaloku leyo kuyanyanzeleka ukuthi ke uaya ubenjezile bangaba ke you should do these interviews more, man. The way you simplify this life we're living is just very top notch. Yabona uvela uyithi nje like I see you as a motivational speaker. Like I for one, you know, want to be invited by you. Oh, but you've been doing a lot. I've been seeing social media. You've been doing a lot, and I love that.
doing a lot of
Talking, like, ndiyayithanda ethethayo mna, you know, ozawusikhuthaza futhi.
Ndinentloni, but when you put me in a space where I have to talk about things I'm comfortable with, I roll with it. So, it's always around.
I love this.
It's always around the same topics in Dizengazo. If it's not gender, it's women empowerment, or it's you know, something along those lines. I'm an educator, a social educator at that. So every opportunity to go and you know, educate the next person or help clear mindset or give a new perspective on something, I'm there. I'll do it.
Na little chance you get, you shall educate.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Lindo. Any last words before we end it?
No, I just want to thank you, Piwe, and the station for this opportunity. I hope it will someone's mind, and I hope people will have an interest to research more about it. We can never cover this in one day, in a few minutes. It's an ongoing conversation that we need to have, and I want to plead with the queer community. Let's have the conversations. They are crucial. They are needed. And with us celebrating our pride in ourselves and our rights and the equality that we are getting to, we need not forget Masfunsan.
Yes.
Facebook, let's use social media platforms to empower each other to Funsan. Let's not use it for you know. Let's empower guys.
That's
the word I was looking for. Like every day, you know. Let's wake up some days and let's have quizzes, let's have Q&As, let's educate each other and help Abantu understand. And let's not forget to support Abantu in rural areas.
Oh yes, definitely.
Socialize in silos.
Oh, but I love this. All right, looking at time, it is exactly 6.5 minutes after 3 o'clock, 53 go to Gebeta again the next hour. So Pakati inside, we drive Betuna, but before we end it, Otombam, I'm here for the English League.
Oh, that's my other boss. Yo. So, yeah, guys, like the one as a celebrity.
Yeah, you are.
So, by my setup is recognized.
We highly recognize it.
Thank you, babes.
All right, Lindo, Popsicles, Caspers on social media handles, then close it.
Okay. LINDO MSELE on Facebook, at Popsicles_ZA on Instagram and Twitter, and on TikTok, Undo_.
It's either Lindo, it's either Undo, it's either Popsicles. One of them. Yeah, you must go. Irrelevant. Great. Ayo content nje esizawuphosa kuthiwa sisigaxa irrelevant gqithi into endiyithandayo siya-empowerishana ngoku left right and center. I mean, we've got the next 6 months kuzophela unyaka maybe khona into esiyenzayo sayiqonda makathe phela u-2022 besikwazi ukukhomba uba ngaba ke senze ntoni na. I'm ready for you for the next 5 years. LT wants me out of the studio and I'm about to kill it now. Thank you, man, so much to everyone for joining us. Mnandi Mpiwe, Amanda Wakwadziba, Sawudibana thina ngomso. Ngolwesine, to be exact, it is going to be a turn up tomorrow. I have so many guests coming in tomorrow. Yazi ndinibalisele bangobani kodwa ke ndizeniqhobe pha Facebook emva kwentsimbi yesithandathu 6 o'clock nizawubona uba ngabe ii-posters zithini. From me to you, ndidithanda kakhulu, especially xa nihlala ezindlini nindimamele noba nisemisebenzini. Lindo, too much love, you already know.
I love you.
LT is back, looking okay after him being sick. But man, please stay tuned, man. The drive is coming up with